Welcome back. A big blow to Venice High School's football program. One of its major financial donors is pulling its support following the firing of head coach John Peacock.
But as ABC 7's Christopher Brantley tells us, there's now a petition to try and get Peacock back on the field.
It's been several weeks since Coach Peacock was fired as head of the football team, and in that time, the community has begun to speak up about how they feel. Now there's a petition going around to reinstate the coach.
My family and I, we've been very humbled by the outpour from the community and the support that we've received so far.
Coach Peacock's firing has had a wide-ranging community impact. Nearly 1,000 signatures on a Change.org petition to bring him back.
You kind of would think that people just wouldn't care, but a lot of people care, and I think that they care because of the kids. That's one thing I think that we've lost focus on is what's best for the kids.
In late April, Peacock was fired by Venice High principal Eric Jackson after it surfaced that Peacock had liked a tweet targeting Braden River football coach Kurt Bradley. Some felt the tweet was racist in nature, referencing Bradley and a spray tan bottle.
My wife and I have sat down on the weekends and taken some classes and a little bit of sensitivity training with as far as opponents. So I got to try to be nicer to our opponents.
Principal Eric Jackson told us he stands behind his decision and wanted to make clear that Peacock's firing wasn't just over a tweet, but as he put it, a series of missteps that led to this outcome. The school plans to begin the search for a new head coach starting next week.
The main thing is the focus on the kids right now, and I don't want to be a distraction to them, but at the same time I do want my job back. I think I've put 19 years in it and I built something special there.
Peacock is still a teacher at Venice High School, although he's been stripped of his coaching responsibilities.
From day one when I took this job, it's a special community, and I felt honored to be the head coach of this community, and I still do today.
In response to the firing, Venice football's signature sponsor Bill Buck Chevrolet pulled their support of the program. The dealership's owner Robin Calkins is the one who started the online petition. She told us she's holding out hope that her petition will change the principal's mind. Now, even if they get the 1,000 signatures and deliver it to the school, it's not yet clear if the petition will have its desired effect in bringing back the coach. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher. New information tonight involving the Florida Sheriff's deputy who failed to confront a gunman during the Parkland school massacre. Scott Peterson is getting a state pension of more than $8,700 a month, according to the Florida Department of Management Services. Peterson resigned after coming under fire for what some described as inaction when the shooting broke out. Peterson later said he thought the shots were coming from outside the school, and he responded in accordance with his training. State and county investigators into the police response to that shooting remain ongoing.
More funding may soon be on the way for housing in the Sunshine State following Hurricane Irma. Today, Governor Rick Scott submitting the state's action plan for over $600 million to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. That money would go to replacing and repairing damaged homes, building new affordable housing, and giving grants to impacted businesses. HUD now has 45 days to respond.
Floridians continue to get ready for the upcoming hurricane season, now just a couple of weeks away. A member of NOAA's Aircraft Operations Center, the group that flies the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, is traveling along the Gulf Coast, talking about hurricane preparedness with students. Today, Hurricane Hunter James Warneck visited McNeil Elementary School in Lakewood Ranch to talk to third graders about hurricanes and the mission of those Hurricane Hunter planes.
We fly right through the eye. We do a direct figure 4 through the eye at 10,000 feet. My primary position in the aircraft in storms is to drop instruments that measure various atmospheric parameters. Those instruments' information is then fed into computers, which then are fed to the National Hurricane Center.
Warneck says since becoming part of Hurricane Hunters, he has flown through 2 Category 5 storms, including Hurricane Irma, before it made landfall.
And I know our chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan was at an elementary school earlier this week. I think it was an elementary school, if I remember correctly, talking to kids about hurricane preparedness.
And he's flown on these Hurricane Hunter a couple of times, right, Bob?
Yeah, a Category 3 and a Category 5. We did fly in 2. Again, Ivan as it made its way through the Gulf of Mexico. That was a bad year, too. And Bertha, back in 1996, flew into a Category 3 hurricane well off the coast of South Carolina. I think we ended up flying 3,000 miles that day. So those pilots and those meteorologists on board, they do a lot of hard work. On top of that, now drones are starting to fly into them, and I think they will eventually take over because they can fly longer duration. They don't put the risk of lives at danger there as well, and they can get more information at all different levels too. So that'll be interesting to see happening over the upcoming say decade or so. Winds now out of the north, pretty brisk there, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. We've had gusts as high as 20 to 25 at the airport and at the Punta Gorda Airport as well. Now it's 17 sustained out of the south there. All that south wind continues to bring moisture our way, but we just haven't had any convergence set up. So the showers have been limited here along the west coast of Florida. You can see that low pressure area now tracking to the north. It will continue to move off to the northeast and take a lot of the instability with it, but still there's going to be a chance for scattered showers and a few storms around on Thursday. You can see that activity pretty intense now into Highlands County. Some heavy rainfall there, and no rain around here, and it looks like it'll stay fairly dry. So you have any plans this evening? It should not be a problem, but later on tonight, say after 10, 11 o'clock, we'll start to see more storms developing in the Gulf of Mexico and then work their way onshore. Currently, though, in Manatee County, live sweep, nothing going on. And as far as the futurecast goes, showing those inland storms pushing off to the northeast, but then you'll start to see this feed up and some moisture possibly developing here and pushing onshore, although these models, I must suggest, have been a little bit off as of late for the past few days, but I still think we'll see something popping up here in the Gulf of Mexico later on tonight and during the early morning hours. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. New tonight, Michigan State University has settled with the sexual abuse victims of former sports doctor Larry Nassar. Nassar was employed as a sports physician at MSU from 1997 until 2016. He admitted in court earlier this year to sexually abusing young girls and women over 2 decades. A law firm released a statement today detailing the terms of the settlement. Over $400 million will be paid to more than 300 current victims, and then $75 million will be set aside in a trust fund to protect any future victims who may step forward. Nassar was sentenced in February to 40 to 175 years in prison.
Clashes this week over the U.S. Embassy moving from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem have turned deadly for dozens of Palestinians. Tonight, protesters plan to rally on Sarasota's Bayfront. Dozens of Palestinians were killed this week when demonstrations near the Gaza border turned violent. The protests happened as Israel celebrated the U.S. Embassy's move to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. The local protest is organized by a group called the Answer Coalition, whose aim is to stop war and end racism.
This is about human rights and right and wrong anywhere. Killing peaceful protesters is wrong. We want to go out and call for everyone to stand in solidarity with Palestinians' right of return to their ancestral, to their homeland.
The Suncoast isn't the only area in the state seeing protests. Orlando protesters stood in solidarity of Palestinians earlier this week. Tonight's protest will be held at Marina Jack from 7 to 8 o'clock. And plenty of excitement these days at Sarasota Jungle Gardens about a baby lemur. This little guy was born in late March. He's a ring-tailed lemur pup. His handlers say he's already very independent despite staying close to his mom. They say the animal's birth is a great opportunity for their facility.
He actually is the sibling of 2 of the lemurs that we have in there, and we've noticed that he's much more independent than his other siblings, so it's really interesting to see that his personality is so different from his other siblings.
No name has been chosen yet for the lemur, but the park may have a contest in the next couple of weeks. You can see raw video from our visit this morning either on our website at mysuncoast.com or on our ABC7 Facebook page.
How cute, huh?
So cute.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, if you don't know what your circadian rhythm is, we'll tell you why it's important to listen to it.
Plus, the consequences of falling behind on student loans. Those stories when we come back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Do you ever wake up to the sound of your alarm and just wish for a few extra hours, maybe even minutes of sleep? Well, we all know not sleeping well can certainly make you feel off in the morning. ABC's Janae Norman shows us what else you're putting yourself at risk for.
Our circadian rhythm is what tells us it's time to rest and when it's time to get up. Yet there is a lot that we do on a daily basis that can throw it off. Overnight shifts, interrupted sleep. Researchers in the United Kingdom studied over 91,000 adults from 2013 to 2015 to find out if changes in your circadian rhythm increase your risk of developing depression or bipolar disorder. Participants wore a wrist accelerometer similar to a Fitbit for 7 days, which measured their levels of rest and activity. Afterwards, they completed a survey that would suggest if they meet criteria for a mood disorder or having changes in their overall well-being. More activity on the accelerometer suggesting more disruptions in their circadian rhythm, less happy, less satisfied, and lonelier. Also met more criteria for diagnosis of depression and bipolar disorders. This study couldn't prove that disrupting your circadian rhythm causes mood disorders, but the association is enough to remind us that sleep is not a daily indulgence, it's a prescription for better health. So rest up. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
With childhood obesity still a major concern in the U.S., it's important for kids to stay active, whether at home or at school. A clinical professor at Harvard says activity breaks during the school day can help students become better learners because of the impact of movement on their brains. A recent study found that children who get extra physical activity while in school do better in reading and in math. The research not only shows that being active can help kids with cognitive function, it can also help with behavioral issues.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
That's good to know. Oh, my little Emma's bouncing and flipping and jumping all over the place, so that's good. KC Key webcam showing pretty calm conditions out there. Not too bad. Sea's been running 2 to 3 feet at times, a moderate chop. The wave action a little higher as a result of southwest wind, but boy, a lot of sunshine, not many storms to dodge. There were a few this morning down near Inglewood and also near Placida as well as into Charlotte Harbor. All that has since moved to the east. Kind of a pattern we're in. We get a southwest wind. There's a chance of getting development in the Gulf of Mexico late tonight in the early morning hours, and then pushing onshore during daybreak and a couple of hours into it. And then the main focus shifts inland with that southwest wind, with the heavier storms developing and pushing off toward the east coast. You can see that happen today, although we're starting to see, again, 1 or 2 lone showers, and that's possible this evening. We'll start to see that develop in the Gulf of Mexico. Not everyone's going to get the rain. The fast movers, too, they're moving to the northeast at around 15 to 20 miles an hour. And to the west of us, there's not a whole lot going on there. You can see this rainfall around earlier kind of dissipating. There's been some dry air in place. It's going to start to moisten up a little bit late tonight, tomorrow morning. Our rain chances aren't all that high, though, at 40%. Rainfall estimates today. There is a little bit of rain that we could muster up from Venice southward down toward Inglewood. And Northport, you really dodged it for the most part. 0.6 of an inch near Inglewood and 0.2 just to the southwest of Arcadia. Well, the water vapor loop showing that dry air that's in around. You see it right there. It's starting to scoot on by, though. That's why we're not getting many storms today. We're seeing that dry air into Hillsborough County now, stretching off into Polk County. And to the southwest of that, there's still a little bit more out there to go. So I don't expect to see a lot of rainfall this evening, but we could see some bigger storms firing up after midnight. Well, there's a lot going on down to the southwest. We're supposed to keep an eye on this. A large plume of moisture, showers and thunderstorms developing just to the east of the Yucatan there. There's no organization, but it certainly does have that appearance of something trying to develop. We'll watch it closely for you. There are a couple of models suggesting maybe a week from now there might be something, but not this early. So it doesn't appear there's going to be anything developing moving our way. But we will see that steady stream of tropical moisture right over us. And with the daytime heating southwest winds, I mentioned, good chance for showers and storms developing inland in the afternoon and evening, pushing off to the east. And our better chances come just after midnight, and then again pushing on shore during the morning hours. Scattered storms tomorrow for boaters. We'll have winds out of the south at 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now 78 degrees. It's starting to warm up, but really it's not anywhere close to where hurricanes could really use that energy. They have to be 80 degrees or above. 83 now, and Thursday, that's the high tomorrow. 40% chance now. That'll be for coastal residents, mainly in the morning, and then inland areas will get that chance later on in the day as that southwest wind continues. 50% on Friday. Now, a little bit more moisture comes into play on Saturday and Sunday, so the rain chance is bouncing up to 60%. And it appears now that'll be shower and thunderstorm activity late in the day, late in the afternoon and evening. That continues on Monday and Tuesday. The rain chance dropping off to 30% on into Wednesday. Notice the temperatures, too. They're pretty much right at average into the mid-80s, although 87 will be a couple degrees above the average for this time of year. Low temperatures above average as well in the low 70s running in through the next 7 days. Coming up at 6, we're going to take a look at that tropical disturbance down to our south that could possibly develop in about a week to 10 days from now. We'll also talk about our fact that our showers and storms that weren't around today will be back tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you then. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. The northbound lanes of US 301 are slow moving this evening in Bradenton, right around the intersection at US 41. Southbound lanes, however, are looking clear tonight. Well, the Senate has passed legislation aimed at repealing the FCC's recent decision to change net neutrality rules. The measure was backed by all 49 Democrats as well as 3 Republicans. The vote comes months after the Republican majority FCC voted to repeal Obama-era protections that were approved just a few years earlier. The net neutrality rules prevented internet service providers from speeding up or slowing down traffic from specific websites and apps. Supporters of net neutrality say the FCC's decision to repeal gives too much power to service providers. That measure now goes to the House, where it is not expected to pass.
Amazon Prime members can now save some money at Whole Foods. Amazon is offering an additional 10% discount on sale items at Whole Foods stores for its Prime members. To get the discount, members will have to sign into the Whole Foods app using their Amazon Prime account and then scan it at checkout. Amazon may also be one of the big tech companies set to disrupt the banking business. Daniel Ives, Chief Strategy Officer at GBH Insights, says Amazon, Apple, and Facebook are all encroaching on territory held by traditional banks by doing things like working on money transfers and possibly offering credit cards.
Outstanding student loan debt in the U.S. is nearing more than $1 trillion. With another class of college seniors about to become graduates, even more people will be trying to pay down on their debt. But what do you do if you fall behind? Well, if it's a short-term temporary issue, one of the main options is to try and get a forbearance, which can help you avoid default. But it can also cost you more money in the long run on some of those federal loans. And if your job just doesn't pay enough, you may want to think about an income-driven repayment plan.
Well, Justin Timberlake called it a brasberry last year on Instagram, a blueberry stuffed into a raspberry. And of course, the idea took off. Now he has joined forces with one of America's best-known fruit companies, Driscoll's, to make it a reality. The company released photos of prepackaged, hand-picked, and hand-stuffed brasberries. Driscoll's specified that the packaged fruits are just for promotional purposes for now because of the amount of labor that's required to create this new fruit.
Okay, the only reason this took off is obviously because a celebrity said something about it. If it was one of us, probably not so.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets all he wants.
There you go. Well, stay with us. Entertainment news is coming up next.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast, weekdays on ABC 7.
We've been following breaking news for you. A shooting that took place.
There is a person of interest.
We are looking at a rainmaker, this cluster of clouds heading toward the state of Florida.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
It'll be a couple of months before we know just how long Bill Cosby will spend in prison.
The judge in his sex assault case has set a sentencing date for September 24th and 25th. The 81-year-old actor and comedian, once known as America's Dad, is facing a possible sentence of 30 years in prison after being found guilty on sex assault charges, though it's unlikely he'll get the maximum. Cosby will be under house arrest in Philadelphia until sentencing.
Rapper and reality show star T.I. is sharing his side of the story after his arrest today. The rapper, whose real name is Clifford Harris, was arrested outside of the gated community where he lives in Georgia. Harris's attorney says the guard refused to let him in. Harris even called his wife, who was inside the couple's home. His attorney says words were exchanged and the guard or a supervisor called the police. Authorities say Harris was cited on misdemeanor charges of simple assault, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. He is now out on bond.
Well, Roseanne may be less political next season, according to ABC's entertainment president. He said as the season has progressed, the show has moved more towards family and away from politics, and that's what we can expect next season. The season finale is next week, and Roseanne will be back with new episodes this fall.
We're getting our first glimpse of Emmy-winning actor Rami Malek as Queen frontman Freddie Mercury, with all the different hair and mustache styles. The first trailer just dropped for the Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody. The film, which looks like a high-octane ride through the world of rock and roll, will open in November. And if you watch the trailer on your phone or a tablet, there's a link to Put Me in Bohemian. It's an interactive site that lets you sing along with the classic title song and then gives you a chance to have your voice included in the movie.
Well, the internet has brought us the next issue to fight over, and it does not involve debating the color of a dress. A viral audio clip has now divided the internet. Take a listen to this.
Laurel. Laurel. Laurel.
Well, do you hear the word Laurel or Yanny? The vote is split after a Twitter user posted the clip along with the thought-provoking question. Audio experts say recording quality and similar frequency patterns in the words might explain the debate. So, the question is, what do you hear, Laurel or Yanny? We want to know. Just visit our Twitter page at mysuncoast.com, at mysuncoast on our Twitter page to cast your vote in that ongoing debate. And clearly, it is Yanny.
What?
You really hear Laurel?
Like as clear as a bell.
Really?
Laurel.
I hear Yanny. I know people who literally are saying they're kicking their wife out after this debate. I don't know. Well, we'll love to hear what you guys think.
Laurel.
Yanny.
We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital content manager to join our newsroom leadership team. CMS experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.